Hey, gorgeous. Welcome to the Hormone Puzzle Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Kayla Smith, CEO of the Hormone Puzzle Society, a woman's health hub for fertility, hormones, and the business of coaching, creator of the Hormone Puzzle Method, an infertility warrior, two-time boy mom, and women's health expert. This podcast is for women struggling with infertility, painful periods, terrible PMS, or really any symptom of hormone imbalance that they are ready to eliminate for good. Tune in weekly because we will be interviewing amazing experts in the field of women's health, breaking down those hormone walls, nerding out on nutrition, and having way too much fun. Whether you're just beginning your fertility journey or you've been struggling for years, we are going to finally help you put those pieces of your hormone puzzle back together so that you can get pregnant and eliminate those pesky symptoms for good. Are you ready? Thank you so much for tuning in. Now let's get started on your road to transformation. Blair Nelson is founder of Fab Fertility, which started as a fertility Instagram account for Blair to find community after suffering a devastating miscarriage following the second frozen embryo transfer, resulting from their first round of IVF. From that experience, Blair made it her mission to bring facts, support, inspiration, and most importantly, a voice to the infertility community. Fab Fertility is now a brand, a business, blog, and a podcast, and it also serves as a vibrant fertility resource and community. Hey, Blair, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Hello. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so glad that you're starting a podcast. It's fun podcasting with another podcaster, right?
Yes, I love it. This has been on my heart for a long time, so I'm finally making that leap.
Yeah, you're going to love it. So much fun.
Oh, awesome. So tell us a little bit more about you, your journey, how you got here.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So my journey, I feel like it's a long one, but it's not as long as a lot of women that I talk to. So I hate to, I'm careful when I say it's been a long one. So my husband and I, we're referring to my fertility journey, right?
Yes.
Okay. So my husband and I got married in September of 2017. So we're coming up on our third year wedding anniversary. We've known each other since 2011, and we were friends for a very long time before we got together. And so, we knew each other really well. We had been best friends for the longest time. And so we knew as soon as we got married, we wanted to start having kids. We got married, I was 31. And we were like, let's go ahead and get started. Never know how long it's going to take, whatever. So we started trying naturally for, I guess it was probably 6 months or so. And then I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Of course, the realist in me was like, I feel like something's up. I don't feel like, anyway, I don't know. I just had this feeling,
Right.
You and I have talked about this before, just this gut feeling and trusting your body and listening, just something was up. So I'm just impatient by nature too. And I grew up like a lot of us, I'm sure listening did, where it's like you try hard at something and it'll happen for you.
Mm-hmm.
And why should baby making be any different, right? I'm
Right.
certainly trying hard at it. And,
Yeah.
And so anyway, I went to my OB and I just expressed some concern and, this old archaic way of looking at fertility of, well, if you're under 35 and you haven't been trying for a year, then we don't want to treat you because you just need to give it a year. And I wasn't going to take that as an answer. And so I was like, okay, thank you very much for your opinion, and never saw that doctor again, and went and found another OB who I kind of did my research with some friends and said, hey, friends that were getting pregnant and stuff, and maybe that had a little bit of fertility trouble, and said, who have you seen? Who have you liked? Who's been really proactive? And I found this great guy who was like, absolutely, we can be more proactive about this. Let's do some general diagnostic testing. So, for anybody listening, I am a huge proponent, whether you're just whether you're single, whether you're married, if kids aren't even on your radar, doesn't matter. Just getting a good baseline of where you are at fertility wise is so important. And that it's so simple. It's basic blood work at around day 2 or 3 of your cycle. And it just gives you an idea of, one, like they usually test your thyroid, 2, also just where your egg reserve is at. And I think that's just so important. So I did that. My husband did some diagnostic testing too, which for men, the basic thing they do is a sperm analysis. But then when we started talking about getting a baseline check on where we were at, my husband was like, I think I have some medical records about my chromosomes or something. Maybe that has something to do with something. And I was like, yeah, let's bring it along. Why not?
Right.
Well, come to find out. I mean, and it's just so interesting because why the heck would a 30-year-old guy ever even be worried about who's had led this normal life ever worry about something like that? Well, so anyway, we get our hands on this piece of paper, and lo and behold, it was this letter from 1986 on a typewriter, basically from his mom's OB, saying that my husband has this balanced translocation. So both of my husband's parents are deceased. So we have no idea how they even knew to look for something like that, because he was tested in utero, which is very uncommon in the 80s.
Yeah.
And they were able to determine that that's what was going on and that he would be perfectly fine, because he was like a carbon copy of his father. Basically, they have the same translocation. So anyway, we ended up in the RE's office because of that letter. There's other things that have gone on with our diagnosis that probably would have landed us there later, but it was because of that and us coming across that early on, which we were so lucky, that we ended up going to see a reproductive endocrinologist, May of 2018. So, I mean, not even barely 6 months into our marriage, here we are at a fertility doctor. So that was a little interesting. And we sat down with her and, she went through the whole, and we knew nothing. I mean, I thought I was totally ahead of the game. I knew all about OPKs. I had the Ovia app, I was like, oh, I know everything about fertility. I'm so awesome. I got off the birth control pill before we got married so it could get out of my system. I thought I knew everything.
Right.
and we sit down, with her, and she's kind of going over everything, telling us our chances. And we were like, wow, I mean, this is really a whole new world. So we started, and it just so happened that the day we sat down with her, I was on cycle day 1 or 2. And so she was like, well, we could get started. If you guys want to do this, we can start your cycle now. And of course, I just said I was impatient earlier. So I was like, sure, let's do it. So I mean, literally went from peeing on OPKs to IVF in the matter of a day. And so it was, for us, it was 0 to 60. Where a lot of people, as you know, in between try medicated cycles, try IUIs, no, we were one extreme to another. It was insane. So to make my journey from there, to make it a really long story short, we have gone through 5 rounds of IVF. When you're dealing with a genetic diagnosis like a balanced translocation, it's a little more complicated and interesting statistically speaking, because the odds are not always in your favor. So it's very much a numbers game. It is get the embryos, get as many embryos as you can, and maybe 25% of them come back normal. I mean, that's on a good day. So we've only made genetically normal embryos on our 1st and our 5th cycle. We went 3 cycles back to back, 1 with one doctor, and then we ended up switching. We did 2 with another doctor that just did not result in any embryos. I mean, we made embryos, but none of them were normal. So it's been a really long road. It's really sucked. I've done every single test under the sun, laparoscopy, hysteroscopy, HSG, you name it, I've done it. I've done an ERA 3 times. I've done a lot. So we're finally in this position to bring that fast forward to present day. We did our 5th round of IVF in May, and we made 3 genetically normal embryos, and we have 1 low-level mosaic. And we repeated, we're doing a completely different protocol than we've ever done. And I can kind of get into that if you want me to, Kayla, but
yeah, totally.
It's more of a natural protocol versus the estrogen and progesterone supplemented protocols. Anyway, we're trying that out because my all the transfers we did for my first round, we did 3, and 3 that just didn't work, and 1 we did get pregnant, and I miscarried at 7.5 weeks. That was in 2018. So we thought, oh, thank you. It's a side tangent. It was awful, and it's still awful, and I still think about it, and I still get very sad about it. But that miscarriage is the reason I started Fab Fertility. That is the reason. It completely shifted my life for the better in so many ways.
Yeah.
But
so you're gonna make me choke up.
Oh,
I love it because you have changed so many people's lives from starting this. We'll get into what it is, but
yeah,
that was not in vain at all. So what an amazing testimony.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like, and we can get into this too, but I just feel like you have to look for the positive, and that's what I've tried to do. But yeah, so anyway, back to the IVF cycle. I'm getting ready to do a transfer. We're doing a more natural approach, I should say. And I did another ERA. And so I did my ERA 2 months ago. We got inconclusive results. I mean, if any crazy shit, sorry, can I cuss on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an explosive show.
Okay. If any crazy shit happens, it happens to me and Will. I swear. So we're in the 3% that this ERA is inconclusive, or it wasn't even inconclusive. It said my biopsy of my uterus did not have enough genetic material for them to conclude anything. And I'm like, oh, great. Just what I want to hear. Right.
Right.
But then
what the hell does that mean?
I know. I'm like, come on, uterus. Like, you have no personality. Like, what's going on?
Right.
So then we did it again last month and just got the results. Literally, I was telling Kayla before you hit record, got the results like a couple hours ago. And we finally, they were conclusive, and it says I need more progesterone. So it just means the transfer will be 1 day later. So transfer will be next week. It's crazy.
Yay!
It's been 18 months since we've been in this position to where we can transfer an embryo. So it's been 18 months seems like 10 years. People going through fertility that are listening to this, I know can relate. It's like eons,
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Such a wonderful story. And I cannot wait to see your baby. Oh my God. It's going to be amazing.
Oh my gosh. He or she is already like giving me a run for my money. So
yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Well, thank you for sharing that. Such a powerful story. And I know it's going to help so many people. So I love it. So let's get in a little bit more about, what's one thing you wish you kind of had known before all of this started?
I think I had this preconceived notion that IVF was a last resort and that it was the answer. Like if you couldn't have a kid, like you could always turn to IVF and it would work no matter what. And I don't think there's anything wrong with people thinking that. Like I don't think there's any shame in that. I think it's just you just don't know until you're there. And I wish I had known how many setbacks, how many hurdles there are, how hard IVF is, I just wasn't like I said, we just kind of got thrust into it. And of course, like we don't regret jumping into it because it's the only way we're going to become parents, because of Will's issue. But it's just, we've had so much heartbreak. It's so expensive. It's so hard on the woman physically. It's hard on the husband. If it's if you're in a heterosexual relationship, it's hard on the man and the woman mentally. It changes like so much of just you're like almost shackled to this diagnosis. And I wish that I would have been more prepared for that. I also wish the other thing, and I think I might have shared this on your live, is that I wish I would have given up more control, like relinquished control a lot sooner, because now there's certain things I can control. Like I can make sure my body is in its optimal condition through diet and exercise and supplements, and I can take care of myself that way. But I can't control the test results. I can only do so much. So used to be, I would, work so hard to take my injections on time and work out, and eat well. And I'd have a retrieval, and then I would just be a hot mess waiting for the results. I mean, on pins and needles, couldn't sleep. I was dreaming about embryos. It's ridiculous. And, you just can't. It's like once those eggs leave your body and the sperm leaves your husband's body, like if that's your situation, like that's it. Like you can't do anything. There's nothing, the stress, like you cannot control the outcome after that. So for me, it's like, okay, focus on the things you can control and relinquish the control where you have none. That would be my main thing. And it's easier said than done. It takes a lot of practice. It takes like, I do a lot of things now. I meditate. I like, especially at night, I would stay awake thinking about it, or I wake up thinking about it. So at night, what I do is I try to like get really sleepy. Like I try to read, or do like, I'm really into doing restorative yoga before I go to sleep now, like just like 5 or 6 poses for like 10 breaths each. I mean, really short, but just to kind of calm the brain down. And then I'll listen to a meditation to go to sleep. So there's been things that I've incorporated into my routine that have helped me kind of relinquish that control a little bit. But yeah, I think that would be the main thing. So many other things though.
Yeah, I love that. And then I love that you're talking about how IVF is not a sure thing, because I feel like so many people think it is. They're like, well, I'll just do IVF. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's not, you have to do things, 1, to get your body ready, and 2, it's not a sure thing. So I love that you're talking about that.
And the timeline. And that's another thing. Like people are like, just do IVF. Well, okay. IVF takes a really long time. I mean, of course you're on your own body's schedule, meaning like your menstrual cycle. Then you have to sync up with your doctor. Then you have to like, you might have a cyst, you might have a lining issue. Like there's so many things that can prolong your treatment. Then a pandemic. I mean, there's so many things. It takes like, it is, I mean, I was thinking about this laying in acupuncture earlier today. I was like, oh my God, like it has taken, since my egg retrieval, it'll have been 3 months. So from egg retrieval to transfer, it took me 3 months from those 2 things. And people think, oh my gosh, it's going to just be a month. I'm going to, do my IVF. I'm going to, transfer. And then a month later I'll be pregnant. No, like the timeline is long. You have to be prepared to play the long game,
Totally. Yep. I completely agree. I love it. So talk to us a little more about Fab Fertility, the amazing company that you started, and then we'll get into your rally and all your fun things you got planned.
Sure. Okay. So I shared a little bit earlier, I started Fab Fertility after my miscarriage in 2018. And when I had my miscarriage, I was very much the mindset, oh, IVF's just going to work for us. No big deal. I got pregnant on the second transfer. I was like, I knew it, and then, and then when I had the miscarriage, I felt like infertility just had just like slapped me in the face all of a sudden. It was like, wow, okay, this isn't going to be as easy as I thought. So I started thinking like, okay, like once the shock of losing the baby had like kind of gone away and I was dealing with all the emotions that come along with grief, anger, all the stuff, I was like, who can I talk to about this? My mom had a miscarriage before me, but gosh, that was 31 years ago, and none of my friends to my knowledge had one or had talked about it. And maybe they had, but just, I didn't know about it. And so I was like, where can I go to find some support? And so I got on Instagram, probably from my personal page, and started searching hashtags and stuff. And when I realized there was a community out there, I was like, okay, I'm going to start this account. And I honest to God, do not remember why. Maybe I just liked the ring of how Fab Fertility sounded, because I guarantee you when I started that account, I did not feel fabulous. Like I was in the deepest, darkest, and maybe it was like, that's how I wanted to feel. I honest to God do not remember. And I found so many amazing people that were just willing to help a stranger, like with one follower, like just be so sweet and loving and caring and reassuring. And I finally felt that I wasn't isolated. And so I quickly fell in love with the community. I started I don't really I don't do traditional journaling a lot. I don't write. I mean, I'm trying to start because I do think it's a really good practice, but I just haven't been. That's just not me. So I started using Instagram almost as a journal, right? So ever since then, my account Fab Fertility has been a virtual journal of my journey. So I take everyone along for the ride, the good, the bad, the ugly, the exciting, the ups and downs. And as I've gone through more and more treatment, I try to use what I've gone through and my diagnosis and all of that as an educational tool too. So it's kind of turned into this very selfish need for support and kind of morphed into, it's very much, I still seek support daily from all these amazing women, but I try to also empower and educate and raise awareness for infertility and break stigmas. I think, you said you're thankful people are talking about it, and same. I don't think you have to. I get so many questions oh my gosh, Blair, how can you be so open about, do you feel pressure to tell people when things go bad or good, or how do you share? And I don't think that you have to be super open, shouting from the rooftops like I am. I think there's a lot of ways to go about it, about talking about it, whether it's just finding one person, whether it's starting an anonymous account where it's just even if it's mine was Fab Fertility, I just didn't tie my name to it. There's ways where you can speak up about infertility, raise awareness, and you don't have to make it as personal as I do. So, then I started getting more and more, meeting more people, making more connections, being more inspired to share, seeing others share and seeing what impact they had made on my life. And so I decided to start a podcast, and I started that podcast in summer of 2019. So it's been about a year, and it's been so much fun. This week I released my 94th episode.
Wow.
So I'm almost at 100, which is awesome. So exciting. And it's been a blast. I've met so many amazing people. That's how Kayla and I met. We met on Instagram, and she was on my podcast. The podcast is just a way to extend what I'm doing on my Instagram and try to reach a broader audience, and just bring people's knowledge in this space to the infertility community. I mean, it's been so much fun. I also have a website where I blog occasionally, but my focus has not been on my personal blog as of late. So if you want to follow me, I'm really active on Instagram. That's where you can find me.
Definitely. And selfishly, I love your Instagram. I mean, it's one of the things that drew me to you. I'm like, wow, this girl's amazing. I need to meet her.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
I love it. Yeah. And
I'm a hot mess on there most of the time. So
no, I feel like you have such a wonderful voice for this community. Just like you said, you are, activating for these people and spreading, education and all of it. So I love it. And it's fun to read. You're such an amazing writer.
Thank
feel
you.
I'm looking in your journal. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's funny. I look back at stuff that I read or wrote, in the very beginning. I read one of my blog posts that one of the first ones I ever wrote. And I was like, oh my God, I have come a long way. I mean, with writing. And then I was like, oh my gosh, Blair, all of that is so wrong. So I had to go change all the stuff I had written about ERAs and stuff, because I was like, that was a newbie article.
Right. Same for me. I go back and look at even my Facebook lives and things I did in the beginning. Oh my God, it's horrible.
No,
but I think it's fun. It's for real.
It's an evolution. It's an evolution.
Exactly. So awesome. Well, tell us a little more about Fertility Rally.
Yeah. Okay. So, I met the co-founder of Fertility Rally, podcasting. So Fertility Rally is a company that I started with another podcast host. Her name is Ali Prado. She has the podcast Infertility AF, and we met on Instagram. And she had just launched her podcast, and it was when I was considering launching one as well. And I think she had only had a couple episodes out. And I was just, like many people listening, just searching for whatever resources I could find. And there's not many. I mean, there's more and more infertility podcasts popping up, but hers was one of the first ones I found. I emailed her, and I was like, it's funny because we posted our first email exchange on the Rally Instagram the other day. It's really funny because I said, hey, I saw your podcast. I love your show. I would love to be a guest. My husband and I have been through a fuck ton of shit and I'd love to share it with your audience. That's what I said. And immediately she responded back and she was like, I would love to have you on. Like, so we just had this instant, like, fun bond. So anyway, fast forward to, we just, became friends through podcasting. We always kept in touch with each other. We became phone friends, like above and beyond Instagram friends, and just texting and like throwing ideas back and forth. And I think it was this past fall, we were like, oh my gosh, like we want more than anything to throw. I had told her, I really want to do a fertility, like I want to throw a fertility event in Austin. I'm trying to like track down a bunch of people that are going through treatments. And I just want to throw this really fun get together that's like more than a support group. It's like a party. It's like we're celebrating our strength kind of thing. And she wanted to do the same thing in New York. So we're like, why don't we just start a company and do this for everybody? And so that's how it started. And we came up with the name Rally really late one night, one of our midnight texting exchanges. And we're like, oh, what could we call it? We want it to be fun. There's a time and a place for a summit and a conference. That's not what we want here. We want this to be more fun. And so we came up with the name Rally because rally has a double meaning. Like an actual rally is like a fun, like ruckus, like get together. Yeah. But also we love the idea of rallying behind each other, to lift each other up. And that's kind of the whole mission of Fertility Rally. So we started planning this event. We had picked an amazing location in Brooklyn. And our dates are and were October 23rd through 25th. Then the pandemic hit and we're like, oh gosh, like, and then, in the beginning of the pandemic, everyone was like, oh, by the fall, it'll be fine. Right.
Right.
Well, now here we are. And so we're about to announce, that we're going virtual with the rally. We're taking it from 3 days to 1. So it'll be October 24th. We're going to launch ticket sales, the second week of September. So we're super excited about that. We're building out, we already have a lot of speakers committed, but we're building out the rest of like our programming. We've been picking out platforms, not to bore your listeners. We're doing all the behind the scenes annoying stuff right now. But anyway, so Fertility Rally, then we were like, okay, our event's not going to be what we wanted it to be. And we were having a blast doing a bunch of Zoom calls and Zoom parties with just people that followed the Fertility Rally account. And we were like, why don't we just start a membership site? Like, how fun would that be? Then we could rally with these people 24/7. Let's just give it a shot. And it's this way we can do this year round versus just once a year. So we launched that June 1st. We have, I think, around 200 members now.
Wow.
Which is so exciting.
That's awesome.
And a lot of people like want to know, okay, if I'm a member, what does that mean? So if you're a member of Fertility Rally, basically you can choose a monthly or a yearly option. And once you're a member, you unlock what we say it is a membership community and content hub. So you unlock all of our content. So Allie and I do a podcast together on that website, where we have guests on and we co-host together. We have a huge blog where we write articles. We also have a ton of guest articles written. We have an Ask the Expert section where we do Q&As with REs, with founders of fertility companies like Uva, who is an at-home like progesterone test kit. Like we do a bunch, and we have one with an embryologist. We do these little 10 minutes with interviews where we've done one with Jennifer J. Palumbo, who's a comedian. We've done one with an RE. And then I think like the cornerstone of the membership is the events in the community. So when you join, you set up a profile, much like a Facebook. You can be anonymous if you want, or you can just tell everything about your diagnosis, anything you want to say. Yeah. And that way you can find other members that are going through similar things. We have groups, like we empower our members to create their own groups. So there's been some funny ones. Someone started a group the other day called Unique Uteruses. We have some geographical ones, like someone started a Washington State group. So really it's just a way, and we have a rally feed, like a Facebook feed where you can get on and just word vomit what's going on. Like, I just had a shitty test result. What do I do? And there's so many women that come to your rescue. It's so cool for me and Allie to just sit and watch this take place. It's like, it's a dream come true. And then Our events is what everyone loves the most. So we do a weekly support group every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on Zoom. We always have a guest, or typically have a guest that helps lead the conversation. Like last night, we had Regina Townsend she's the founder of Broken Brown Egg. Or we have, a fertility coach, or we had a sex coach, and we try to talk about different topics, that affect you during your fertility. And then we have other virtual events too. Like we've had an all things IVF, women of color and infertility, building families when you're LGBTQ. We're doing a wellness and ear seed workshop on Monday. So lots of cool, different niche things. And we have merch and discounts and like a bunch. It's crazy town. Like we have so much stuff going on. We're like trying to reel it in.
Right.
But it's been so much fun. So yeah, that's what you get as a member. But you can also just go to fertilityrally.com and you can get a sampling of kind of what we're offering. So we have some of our blog posts on there. We have some of our videos. We have like a video library. A lot of them are me going through my IVF journey, like how to give yourself a follistim shot, how to, I've kind of tried to build this video library in real time. So that's what Fertility Rally is, a membership site, but also it's going to be an event this October. So we're super excited.
I love it. And I'm so excited. I can't wait till it happens. It's going to be super cool.
Yes. Kayla's going to be involved. So
yes,
check it out.
For sure. Awesome. So let's switch gears a little bit and talk more. I love talking about food. And so we talk about nutrition a lot on this show.
Yeah.
So just tell me a couple of things that maybe you did that were kind of your top picks for food when it comes to boosting your fertility so that your IVF will eventually work.
Yeah. So I've been focusing a lot over the past few weeks, specifically leading up to this transfer on, I guess I'll go back to what I've been really intentional about since my last egg retrieval. So I've tried to cut out all gluten and dairy because, as you know, it's very inflammatory.
Yes.
And I was trying to keep my body working for my reproductive system as much as possible instead of working to fight off any inflammation that I was putting into it. So gluten and dairy, I keep to a very strict minimum. And to be honest, I don't really miss it because I know that gluten-free bread is not that healthy for you, but if you really want some toast or something, you can find it. And it's not terrible tasting. I like it. And so I've done that. I've pretty much cut caffeine out completely. I might have 1 or 2 servings a week. But again, I've never been a huge caffeine fiend. Alcohol, I definitely cut out before my cycle, before my retrieval. And I haven't in the weeks leading up to a transfer, I've had some in between, but I really have tried to dial that back, which is really hard in the pandemic, right? Because you're just I just want some wine. There's nothing else to do, just need to sit here and drink and watch Netflix. So it's been a challenge. I'm not going to lie.
Right.
Those are some main things, but recently I've been focusing a lot on the blood nourishing foods. So I've been trying, cherries are in season. So that's been my snack of choice. We've been incorporating more sweet potatoes, lots of leafy greens. I'm a huge arugula, kale, and spinach girl. And I've been doing a lot of salmon and also focusing on not eating as much cold food.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to cook it more. And Kayla, you and I have talked about this a lot. I love smoothies and stuff, but you can make them room temperature. You don't have to make them super cold. And then drinking, not ice water, just drinking regular room temp water.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been really militant about making sure that I'm getting half of my body weight in ounces in water every single day.
Yay! That's awesome.
So, and all of those things to me, and I have 1 or 2 Brazil nuts a day. I think all of those things are easy. Because I love all of those things. We're healthy eaters anyway. The gluten and dairy, I love cheese, but it's almost easier in the pandemic because you're not going out to eat. You're not getting a charcuterie board and queso and, it's just, it's easier to cut those things out. But yeah, those are the main things I would say that I've been focused on.
I love it. Yeah. And I love all of those things and completely agree with all of them. So that's wonderful. Yeah. And, I always talk about this. It's not like you have to give up those things forever. Like if you love cheese, bring it back when you've got your baby, it's just for right now when you're trying to get pregnant. So,
well, and it's interesting because so many of these drugs mess with your digestive system already. Mm-hmm. And then if you're adding, and I've really had to sit back and observe that because I'm on some steroids right now, and they make you, like, sorry, TMI listeners, they sometimes make you kind of constipated, right? Then why would you add dairy to make it even worse? Yep. And so for me, I'm just like, okay, if I'm super clean, I will say my guilty pleasure, or like what's the hardest for me to give up is sugar. I've told you this before. Yeah. And so for me, and like, I think one of the tips, so Kayla did an event for the Fertility Rally, and we did we did a mini cooking demo, and then we talked about her hormone puzzle method. And one of the things I think you shared was, okay, if you really want sweets, have a really sweet fruit, like a watermelon or something. Mm-hmm. So I always have like watermelon chunks, and that to me tastes like, it's like candy to me. Yeah. Or like maybe some dark chocolate or something, not in excess. But that's what's been really hard for me is the sugar. And I'm sure a lot of that is because if you're used to like drinking wine at night, then you take that away. Your body's like, where's the sugar? Right. Exactly. So then you're craving it somewhere else. So I'm not perfect for people listening. Like, trust me, I have like some ice cream or a popsicle, or you know what I mean? Like, right. Or if people watch my Instagram, they see that I go to Chick-fil-A and get the frosted lemonade sometimes, which is ice cream and lemonade, which is so bad. But anyway.
Yeah. But it's all about balance. It's not being super militant or depriving, but just kind of balancing. And if you're like in the thick of it with the fertility journey, then maybe saying, okay, this isn't the best for me right now. Let's see if we can make a better choice. So totally. I love that you say that. It's awesome. So tell us, I know we talked a little bit, but tell us again where we can find you. I think you have a code for our listeners for the membership sites. Let's talk about that.
Yes. Okay. So first of all, if you want to follow my personal journey, I'm at Fab Fertility. So FAB, like fabulous, Fab Fertility. That's also my website, fabfertility.com. Needs some work. Don't judge me.
I love it. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. My podcast is Fab Fertility. And then if you're interested in Fertility Rally, definitely go check out the public site, fertilityrally.com. We just recently made the decision to close our membership for a few weeks because once we hit a certain milestone with our membership numbers, and now that we're planning our virtual, like the big shebang in October, we wanted to like step back, take a breath, get organized, get our ducks in a row, serve our members that we have, make sure they're happy. So we closed our membership. We're reopening it the first week of September. So going forward, we're going to try that out, closing it at like for most of the month and only opening it for the first week. But for the listeners of this podcast, which is, I think this is releasing in perfect timing with us opening the membership. Yeah. So we'll be open the 1st through the 8th or the 1st through the 9th, but you can get $10 off using the code PUZZLE10. And so the monthly membership is $19.99 a month. So that would be half off for a month, or our annual is $199 for a year. So it would be $10 off that. And like, I just wanted to preach real quick that like working with people like Kayla and investing in yourself and a membership at Fertility Rally it's so important to put yourself first on this journey. And like, prices might sound like a lot, especially when you're going through treatments and like having to order $5,000 worth of medication if you're doing IVF and stuff. But if you like really break it down and invest and think of it as an investment in yourself and your mental health, I think it's really important. So like $200 for 48 support groups. I mean, come on, that alone is worth it, right? Right. And I know Kayla's prices, I mean, so worth it. Her Hormone Puzzle Method book, so worth it. So I should have said that too in the beginning when you asked me what's one piece of advice, like make yourself the number one priority always. Like you have to be your number one during all of this. And it's okay to say no to things. It's okay. Like put yourself first. And this is the one time in your life where it's justified more than any other time. Right. So Anyway, but yeah, and you can follow us at Fertility Rally as well on Instagram. And yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, I love it. Yes, I completely agree. Put yourself first. Very, very important. So awesome.
Important.
Yeah. So any final thoughts?
Oh my gosh. Hey, if you're on your fertility journey, hang in there. I mean, I am not on the other side of this thing. Okay. So I feel like I can say this and not piss people off. Mm-hmm. I do really think that everything happens the way it's supposed to. I don't have a baby in my arms yet. I don't know when I will, but I do know that had I not gone through all of this, I wouldn't have met people like Kayla. I wouldn't have a podcast. I wouldn't be the healthy version of myself that I am now if it had come easily. So I think, putting it in that perspective when you are really, really down and pissed off and acknowledging all those negative feelings, but then trying your hardest to learn, like celebrate the small wins, learn lessons from every single thing that happens, take something away from every negative thing that happens, and you'll find yourself like in so much of a better spot, so those are my parting words.
Yes, I love it. Oh my goodness. And I just love you so much. Thank you.
I love you too. Of
so
course.
much for being here. You're just such an inspiration, and I just love talking to you. So thank you.
I love talking to you too. Yeah. And we'll see you at the rally in October.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Hormone P.U.Z.Z.L.E Podcast. Check out the show notes for today's episode at CoachKayla.com. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and leave a review. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next week.